Yes, people, we're back for the EFL show on the First XI, and it's all me. I've taken over. The mad have taken over the asylum. That's not how it goes, is it? Is it the patients have taken over the asylum? Whatever it is. Basically, the madman has taken over. He's got full control. He's got the EFL show all to himself. And the First XI channel all to himself tonight. Absolutely buzzing. What chaos can we cause? Well, not a lot considering Argyle lost midweek, but there's a lot to talk about. We're going to continue it the way we normally would. So I'll go through all the games in both leagues, and I'll give my predictions for next week, or not for next week. You know, the weekend fixtures. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of an interesting one, all by myself. Absolutely loving it. Max says, big up now. How you doing? Yeah, I'm all good. What about yourself? And let me just get, is that what I'm looking for? No, wrong way. There we go. All right. Not that I want to, because talking about the EFL this week is not something I want to do. But before we start, we do need to obviously send our wishes to Charlie Wyke, who collapsed in training in the build-up to the Cambridge. Well, I think it was before the Cambridge game. And obviously, he went to hospital. He's in a stable condition now, but obviously everyone here wishes him all the best and hopefully that he gets a full and speedy recovery. I'm sure Aaron and Charlie would be saying the same thing. But as always, the show must go on. Max says, I'm happy Colin scored last night for Cardiff, but we survived and they scored from a throw that don't count. How can you score from a throw? But regardless, I'm good, bro. Can't wait to see if I'll be talking about League One games next season or not. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, let's start, because the first game that obviously we'll cover is my team Argyle, who succumbed to a 3-0 defeat to Wigan Wanderers. The game was poor. The game was ridiculously poor. It was Al Qaeda versus Argyle, and Al Qaeda won. Argyle could not fight terrorism. We tried our best, but we just couldn't. We just couldn't do it. It was a poor performance from Argyle. First half, I thought it was poor. Good. Second half. Do you know what? The poor bit came in the last 10 minutes when you're chasing for a goal, not for the first time. And that just normally happens, doesn't it? Normally when you're chasing a goal, a couple more go in. It certainly wasn't a 3-0 thrashing by any stretch of the imagination. But it is what it is. We have to move on. Brendan Galloway has dislocated his kneecap. So he's out for about, at minimum, 5 to 6 weeks, minimum, if not longer. It could be a real long injury. He is out of contract actually in January, but sources from the club, or sources from Ryan Noah, and in fact Ryan Noah himself, are saying that he will be offered a new contract. Apparently, negotiations were already ongoing for a new deal to be signed. So. Which I'm obviously very pleased about. I thought Brendan had been one of our best centre backs by no means. He by far one of our best centre backs. In fact, all three of them, if you take out Macaulay Gillespie, have been top class. So yeah, it's disappointing not to have obviously Brendan Galloway. It does now mean that we're down to 3 first team centre backs, whilst obviously Brendan Purcell can play as well. He's one of our youth academy sort of graduates. Can't remember if he's a first season or a second season graduate. One of them. But obviously he'll be on the bench for Wickham. Normally it would be Ollie Tomlinson, but he's actually on loan with Truro City. I think he's with Truro. But yeah, it's a bit mad. Obviously, Argyle have been on a 16-game unbeaten run. To suffer 2 defeats, 5 goals conceded. That's very unlike Argyle this year. So we've got to bounce back. We've got Wigan at the weekend. We always knew this run of games would be a tough one, and so it's proven already with Charlton and with Wickham. But we need to get back on the bike and fight for points against Wickham. No, not Wickham. Wigan, MK Dons and Sunderland. And I think then we got Charlton again. So it's tough, but it's also our first defeat at home park. So that doesn't make it any better. But it is what it is. But moving on, because we weren't the only team to get back to 3-0. Big up Doncaster. Big up Doncaster Rovers. You truly epitomise what shit looks like. Because welcome to shit. They went to the University of Bolton Stadium and got absolutely demolished. Owen Doyle started the riot off in the 37th minute with his goal before, and I'm going to try and pronounce his name right, Kachunga got the second goal in the 45th plus 4 minutes, so 49th minute in the first half, and then George Thompson, or Thompson to Mason, however you pronounce his second name, decided to bag the third and final goal. Just really make Doncaster fans cry. That puts Doncaster on minus 21 goal difference. They're still 23rd, but that gap to lower mid-table, as Aaron said, is now 7 points. So it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which is not helpful at all. And in fact, to get out the relegation zone itself, Doncaster are going to need 4 points. So they're now further than a win away from getting out of there. It doesn't look good for Doncaster. It does look like, unless some miracle happens, and when I say miracle, I mean sign some players, it does look like Doncaster may be heading down to League Two. Max says Charlie was the closest. Absolutely. He was 2-0. 2-0. I can't believe I went to 0-0. That's the last time I ever give Doncaster any sort of trust. That's the last time I ever trust them to do anything. Even a 0-0, they couldn't hang on for a 0-0. A bit of a madness there. Sup forever, Rovers. Big up to yourself. But yeah, Doncaster not having a great time. I'm going to try again and pronounce his name right. Olowu was sent off in the 43rd minute. Now that is being appealed by Doncaster Rovers. Richie Welling saying that it's similar to one of the ones in the Championship that happened that got overturned. So he is expecting it to be overturned. But yes, if that suspension is though carried on, so if they don't overturn it, it looks like Tommy Rowe will be playing centre back for Doncaster this weekend when they face Burton Albion away. He'll be playing with Tom Anderson because there's no other fit centre backs on their bench, I don't think. But yes, a bit of a madness at Doncaster. It doesn't get any easier for Richie Wellings and his team. But moving on to the next game, which was in fact Sunderland versus Shrewsbury. This game is a bit of a madness. 10 men Shrewsbury, because they had David Davies sent off in the 47th minute after Alex Pritchard put Sunderland in the lead, which was quite an interesting one. But Sunderland couldn't hold on to that lead as Daniel Udur scored in the 64th minute, which was quite an interesting one. But yes, Shrewsbury getting a point. They're down in the relegation zone as well, might I add. Sunderland, though, they're meant to be challenging for promotion. But Shrewsbury, they're down in the relegation zone. They have got a game in hand over Gillingham. So if they win that game in hand, they could go above them. But a point against Sunderland, you'd probably take that in the position that Shrewsbury are in. You would definitely take that. But it doesn't get any easier for Shrewsbury this week because they are at home to Charlton Athletic, the team that is arguably the most informed team of the league. And it does look like Shrewsbury are in for a bit of a tough run. Well, certainly the last two games have proved that. But in terms of the stats, as you'd expect, Sunderland dominated the game, but not with shots on target though. And similar to Argyle, they've had plenty of shots, but they're not getting any of them on target, and that is part of the issue. But Sunderland not able to turn all of that domination into a win, which I'm sure they'll be disappointed about. And Lee Johnson bottling it again could never be Lee Johnson. He never bottles things. Forever Rovers says we were bullshit last night. That game had a worse sight than seeing a sewer full of dead animals. We are finished at the moment. That is one heck of an analogy. One heck of an analogy. That's for sure. Liam says, can I jump on the EFL show, bro? Just to give you some company and talk about these games. Well, I don't know how I'll send you a link because it's on a different browser. Just stay in the comments. I'll just do it by myself. It's not a problem. Just be in the comments. I'll read your comments as I go through because I haven't really got an awful. We've got time. We've got until about 7, but I do need to go and sort some other things out as well because, you know, working man and all of that. But moving on to our next game, which was in fact Sheffield Wednesday versus MK Dons, and Sheffield Wednesday under Darren Moore getting a great win in the 93rd minute from Josh Windass. It was quite an end to the game. Quite an end to the game. Scott Twine started the scoring in the 47th minute for MK Dons. He was pulled back by Lee Gregory in the 83rd minute, which was quite an interesting one for that. And then Josh Windass scrapes through all 3 points for Sheffield Wednesday. And that actually puts them into 5th in the league. 5th in the league, 4 points behind Argyle in 3rd, and 5 points behind Rotherham and Wickham, who are operating the automatic promotion spots at the moment. It does jump them above Sunderland, but Sunderland do have games in hand, as does Wigan, as does Oxford. So, you know, very difficult to see all of that. But yeah. Some comments. Watching Aaron's stream last night, he said he got a little smile on his face when he heard it wasn't just us that were 3-0 down, but you are top of the league, so you can't really be bullied for it. Well, yeah, I mean, Wickham also better than fucking Bolton. I mean, we beat Bolton 3-0, so I don't know. Yeah. As I've said to Aaron before, he needs to focus on his problems and leave our problems to us. Yo, now big up to Kenny in the chat as well. Loving the new logo, Liam. Nice to see. On a different browser, don't get what you mean. Well, I'm on Internet Explorer. If I try and load up Google Chrome, my computer is going to go batshit crazy at me. And I'd rather not deal with that because I normally use Google Chrome. It's because I'm operating 2 StreamYards. I'm so happy, says Kenny. I know why. Big up, Kenny. Big up, Kenny. Big up, Niall. Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm all good. But yeah, that game, bit of a madness. It ended quite mad as well. But it is Sheffield Wednesday that pick up points. If Sheffield Wednesday didn't score that goal, I would have got 3 points out of that. That actually super annoying. So fuck you, MK Dons. That's all I'll say there. But we move to top of the league, Rotherham, who faced Ipswich Town. And of course, Rotherham put Ipswich to bed quite easily by the looks of it. It didn't even look like much of a challenge for Rotherham. Although stats suggest that a 64% possession for Ipswich, that 5 shots, 1 on target. But Rotherham 36% possession, 11 shots, 3 on target. 2 of them were goals, by the way. So a bit of an interesting type of game. Rotherham are quite a direct team. I've always said that. I feel like Rotherham are a bit more direct. It works for them. It does work for them. But someone said that they weren't. I was like, I'm pretty sure they are. They look direct to me, and those stats definitely do suggest. Suggest that. But it was goals from Ben Wiles and Shane Ferguson that gave Rotherham all 3 points. Which actually keeps them top of the league. They're level on points with Wickham Wanderers, who obviously beat us. But Wickham, I think, on 9 goal difference or 19. It looks like a 9 to me. You never know with this app. But yes, it's a bit of an interesting one. This but Ipswich, they are currently. So I keep scrolling down the league. Oh, bottom half it is. Oh no, mid-table. Ipswich are 13th. I'm so happy for them. Their fans totally deserve this because they were our cup final. I disagree. Big up to Chris. No, Aaron, with your heard about Charlie. Aaron's apparently got Wi-Fi issues. Apparently. Don't ask me. He's got Wi-Fi issues. Wait, what happened with Charlie? Charlie's taking a break from YouTube. Is what Charlie's doing. But yes, that's that done. I think, have we got our League One game to go through? No, we do not. So fuck the League One. This was the team that beat Donny 6-0. Who? Ipswich. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but Donny was shit. No offence for ever Rovers, but Doncaster are shite. They are shite. But moving on to Sky Bet League 2. Let me just have a bit of my coffee. Sorted. Right. And on to this one. Oh boy. If Charlie wasn't taking a break, he'd be absolutely livid right now, because we're about to go into this, and I'll explain why this is controversial to say the least. Now, so it starts off really well for Bristol Rovers with a goal from Sam Nicholson in the 14th minute to put them 1-0 up. That starts perfectly. Then I don't know what happens for the rest of the game, judging from the app, not a lot. Although Bristol Rovers did have 19 shots, 7 on target, so they dominated Salford. Salford are really shit this year, might I add. Right. And let's look at league table before we carry on. Bristol Rovers 14th, Salford are 16th, so mid-table clash in League 2 here. But the reason it's got interesting is because of 2 red cards. One of which came for Matty Willock in the 41st minute. The second for Salford, so 2 red cards for Salford, brought them down to 9 men, came for Ashley Hunter, who was also sent off. And then Brandon Thomas Anstey, and Santi scored in the 95th minute to get a point back for Salford. But I'm pretty sure that Bristol Rovers had a goal disallowed, if I remember correctly. I think it might have been Brett Pittman that was brought on. And yeah, apparently it was for offside when he wasn't offside. Make of that what you will. So Bristol Rovers robbed of 3 points, but they got a point away at the Peninsula Stadium. But as you can imagine, Rovers fans not going to be too happy about that. I wonder why. I do wonder why. But moving on, because Exeter got an absolute hammering. Love to see this. Good old Exeter. We all said at the time, this should be an Exeter win. Should be easy. Yeah. Exeter always find a way of being shit. And they truly found it. To lose to Colchester, who aren't having the greatest season of theirs either. They're sat down in 19th. Right? They're sat down in 19th. Exeter are second, even though they lost 3-1 during midweek. But yeah, at the JobServe Community Centre, or stadium, shall I say, it wasn't all good for Exeter. And I just love to see it. It's their second loss of the season, actually. Second loss. They had won 8, drawn 8, lost twice. So they've not been too bad. But yeah, Exeter, they always find a way. Good old Exeter, they do, to really screw things up. Things are going well, and then Exeter, good old Exeter, they always find a way. But it was goals from Sylvester Jasper in the 12th minute and Noah Shivers in the 48th minute. If I could get these right. Then Exeter pulled one back with Amond, who got the goal back. But it was Freddie Sears that finished tonight for Colchester to give them all 3 points against high-flying Exeter City. So love to see it. Love to see it. Some comments here. This was the team who beat... Oh, I've done that one. Yeah, back post header. Yeah, it was apparently offside, but it definitely wasn't offside, if I remember correctly. I think Charlie put the footage up on his Twitter, but yeah, a bit mad. EFL referees at it again, pretending to be shot. Well, Argyle should have had at least 2 penalties, and Wigan probably should have been down to 10 men. Does that change the game? Yeah, probably it fucking does. But, you know, EFL referees and all that. Again, pretends to be shot with Exeter result. Yeah, I hear that. I called it, says Kenny. You did. I was hoping Port Vale could do us a favour. They got beat by Oldham. I was hoping Exeter do us a favour in midweek. They get beat by Colchester. Go fuck yourselves. Yeah, but I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I would never expect Exeter to ever help anyone. They're not that reliable. It's Exeter. I am shocked by Port Vale. I'm shocked by Port Vale then. very shocked by them because ever since the manager, former Rovers one, cannot remember his name. It's gone over my head. Nope, gone over my head. Yeah. Now I'm really trying to... Does anyone remember Darrell Clark? That's the one. Darrell Clark. He got manager of the month, and ever since then, Port Vale have been absolutely woeful. You could clip that and have that as a GIF. Woeful. They have been woeful. Darrell Clark, that's the one. Darrell Clark. But I think did we cover Port Vale midweek? We'll find out. Forest Green Rovers, though, they got a good win against Barrow AFC. 2-0 win for them. Charlie and Aaron getting those absolutely right. Top of the league, Forest Green Rovers. Matt Stevens with a brace to get 3 points for them. Top of the league, only lost twice, drawn 4, won 11 games there on a bit of a madness at the moment, and catching them is going to be quite difficult. 6 points ahead of the playoff spots because Northampton are operating fourth, which is the last of the playoffs. Forest Green Rovers not running away with it, but soon enough they may well be. But yeah, it's a bit tight in League One. I can't League Two. I mean, Sutton, Harrogate, and Port Vale all on 29 points. Northampton on 31. Swindon and Exeter are both second and third, respectively, on 32. It was a bit mad. Has any manager that got manager of the month won the first game of the next month, apart from I know this year? Not that I can remember. I don't know. But yeah, bit of a cray one in League Two, as it normally is. But even then, you look further down. Orient on 28 points, Newport on 27, and Tranmere on 26. It's very tight, very, very tight. And down the bottom, Carlisle and Scunthorpe operate in the relegation zone. Oldham on 15 points, but then they're slowly starting to get a bit of a gap between Stevenage, Barrow, Colchester, Mansfield, Crawley, Salford. So the gap is starting to extend a little bit. It's not as tight at the bottom, but normally you see that. Normally you see about 2 or 3 teams, 3 or 4 normally, but it seems to be 3 unless you can drag Stevenage down there with you. We're in a bit of a relegation scrap. But on to Hartlepool, because they faced Swindon Town and got absolutely demolished. They got destroyed by Swindon. 3-1 winners for Swindon Town. Hartlepool not really able to do much, but it didn't really kick off until the second half. So if you got late to this game, you probably did yourself a favour, because the goals didn't start going until the second half. It was Jonathan Williams that opened the scoring in the 52nd minute. With then Hartlepool got one back with Matty Daly in the 63rd before Swindon turned it on a little bit more with Tyree Simpson getting it in the 69th minute and Jack Payne finishing the riot on the 94th minute to deliver Swindon all 3 points. Crucial 3 points, that is, because it puts them into the automatic promotion spots with a game in hand over Exeter City. So it could go as high as second. They're level on games played with Forest Green Rovers. So unless Forest Green Rovers were to lose, it makes it quite difficult. Although they're either playing each other or they're playing Colchester or Crawley. That's the 2 games in hand that is there. But that's for reviewing them. Actually, no, it isn't, because Sutton beat Mansfield 2-0. Goals from Lewis, John, and Omar Bugel. Not Omar Bogle, but Bugel. With goals for Sutton United. Sutton doing fairly well in the league. For the first time they've been here, actually, they're doing very fucking well. They're 7th. For their first time in the Football League in League Two. They're doing bloody well with Harrogate, both on 29 points. They're both operating the playoffs at the moment. So quite an impressive run-in from them so far. We'll see if they can maintain that in the second half of the season. Don't forget, on 23 games, we'll officially be halfway through the season. So, yeah. Nice. Now, that definitely was the last game, because now it is predictions. Although if we quickly have a look at the prediction table, Charlie is way out in the lead with 108 points. Aaron with 92 points, and me with 85. So he's got that. I think Charlie copied now. That is a possibility. How you all say Mansfield win? I don't know why I said Mansfield to win. I genuinely, yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. Not a Scooby. Not a Scooby. Not a Scooby. I'm not a clue. I ask myself that on a daily basis. Considering Mansfield like 18th, yeah, why did I do that? I don't think I actually put much effort into my prediction. So saying that, let me just check that. Let me just I've predicted mine already. Yeah. We'll be on top 4 for the top 4 race, Chris. Get the Iron Brew in you now. Do a Scottish accent. Not a fucking chance. I don't. If someone says do an accent, I can't do it. Although that was quite Scottish, I can't do it. That was. Yeah, I find it very difficult to do an accent. When someone asks, but if I naturally just go into it, as I sometimes do, it's quite an interesting one. Chris says rival fans better watch how Manchester United be on top sooner rather than later. Sorry, that just made me laugh. Well, Ralph Rangnick is a decent manager. He is not too bad. He is not bad. So he's top, I think, is a bit of a stretch, but he's got an advisory role, or consultancy role after Anthony with power, but consultancy role with power. So, but yeah, that's that really. And then after they go getting some point Tenag on there, probably go get Tenag. I think Charlie copied now. Can we keep it with you every week, bro? Because you get through the games quicker than. Well, no, we can't. We'll be on top 4 race, Chris. Get some Iron Brewing. Yeah, do a Scottish accent. Thanks for making it make sense. I can do a Scottish accent. It's sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Yeah, that makes sense. Rangnick gave Tuchel a career and massively helped Klopp get a manager. That could be quite important then. That consultancy role is massive for us. It is massive. What you don't know is he's only in charge of the canteen. So you will get German food, but you will not get better players. No, I'm joking. He'll probably do quite well. But what are my predictions for this weekend? Well, we're about to find out. We are about to find out what my predictions are, because time for predictions. I can do a Scotland accent as I live in Carlisle outside of teeth back in. I can do a Scottish accent as I live in Carlisle outside of Scotland. Yes, Carlisle is pretty damn close to Scotland. Pretty damn close. But let's start with League One, and let's start at home park. It's Argyle versus Wigan. Argyle currently on a 2-match losing streak at the moment. Wigan doing quite well in League One. They are below us, though, but they've got 2 games in hand. No Charlie White for Wigan. Obviously, as I said, he collapsed in training and has been in hospital. So yeah, that's pretty much that. I've gone for 2-1 Argyle. I've gone for a 2-1 Argyle win. I think, the bounce back is absolutely needed, and I think we will bounce back, and I think we can bounce back against Wigan. I know, obviously, they're not a bad team, and their game called off Saturday against Oxford. So it's a tough one. But I think Argyle can bounce back. Obviously, we're going to be without Brennan Galloway. So it'll be Macaulay Gillespie to play, but obviously Wigan going to be without Charlie White as well. So both got injuries to key men or absences to key men, which is, going to be an interesting one. But hopefully Argyle can get a win because, boy, we need to get back on the bike and start flying, because at the moment we just keep falling off the bike and it's annoying. But yeah, only now getting points this week is what I think you should do now. That'd be quite funny. Just imagine the only reason I did the show is because I'm like, I can get the points and no one else can. Maybe I'll talk to them. Wigan striker Charlie White will not be available for selection in the immediate future after collapsing during training. Speedy recovery to him, ex-Carlisle striker. Yeah, did that at the start as well. Old friend broke his back in PE today after already having a back injury. He was paralysed and ambulance didn't come by the end of the day. Taking ages, he was covered in coats and his mum was crying. Ouch. That's not good. 2-0 Argyle. 2-0 Argyle. 2-1 says Chris, but I've gone 2-1 as well. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Kenny saw you absolutely threw me then. That's disgusting for me, NHS, really. I expect better. I'm not lying. And no wonder his mum was crying. Yeah. Burton versus Doncaster Rovers. I've gone for 2-0. I've gone for Burton 0, Doncaster, Burton 2, Doncaster 0. I don't see Doncaster beating Burton. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank has got his team well drilled. And he's for me, he's top class. He's very good. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, there. It's not Richie Wellens. I think Richie Wellens is crap. Yeah, I do think Burton will win. It's also at the Pirelli Stadium, so I think that also will help Burton, get what they need. So 2-0 to Burton for me. Now this week Charlie's predictions count for Chris and Aaron's predictions count for me. I'm not sure Aaron would like that, considering you've just predicted that Burton to win 8-0. That's a bit mad. That is a bit mad. But yeah, that's yeah. I don't know if that'll work. But no, Burton to dismantle Doncaster, I feel. Absolutely dismantle them. And I wouldn't be surprised. In the slightest. Moving on, Sheffield Wednesday versus Wycombe Wanderers. Wycombe obviously beating Argyle. I think they'll get there. I think they'll get another win. This time I think they'll beat Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough. But I've gone for 2-0. I think Darren Moore will succumb to defeat to Wycombe, and I'm going 2-0. Oh, you're right now. 7-0. Excellent. Wednesday 0 Wycombe 2 says Kenny, and Chris says Sheffield Wednesday 1 Wycombe 2. So everyone predicting Wycombe to win. The next one, Cambridge versus Sunderland. I've actually put this down as a 1-1 draw. Captain Nat says evening Nat, how are we doing? But yeah, Cambridge versus Sunderland. I'm putting that down for a 1-1 draw. At the moment, I can't see Sunderland. Sunderland do an interesting one, right? Sunderland do a really interesting one because they're a bit shit, right? And they're in the middle of bottling things. They're currently bottling it in League One with Lee Johnson, even though they've got such an amazing squad, apparently, or so they keep telling us. I reckon Cambridge can get a point out of this, I do. I have no real connection to Cambridge. I know Reese, who used to come on my channel, was from Cambridge. But I have no connection with Cambridge. But Cambridge, I think Cambridge gets a point here. Nat says Wednesday 1-1. I've put that down as a 2-0 win to Wycombe. I just don't see how Wednesday win that. Kenny says 0-0 for Cambridge Sunderland. Chris says 2-1. Won't be shocked if Sunderland don't win, though. It's EFL at the end of the day. Oh yeah, what happened to Reese? I don't know. I think his Twitter got suspended, and I tried seeing if he posted any YouTube videos. He hadn't, so I'm guessing he sort of just gave up on that sort of stuff. But yeah, happened to the best of us. Sunderland are shocking at the moment. They are, but a different level of garbage. You got like Doncaster, like garbage here. Then you just got like Sunderland, that's like mini garbage. You got real shit garbage down here, which is like Doncaster, and then you got like quite smelly garbage, which is Sunderland, and then you got like Wycombe, which is terrorism. Manley disappeared after Euros. He did disappear after Euros. To be fair, he did start the season with us, I think. It wasn't, all the time. Because obviously everyone has jobs to go to, even me. But I just run the YouTube channel alongside it. But that's because I want to. But on to the next game. And the last game for League One, because it is Shrewsbury Town versus the most informed team in the league, Charlton Athletic. Now, Shrewsbury had to face Sunderland. Got a point though. Got a point against Sunderland. Now you got to face Charlton. Charlton are in much better form than Sunderland. I'll put this down as a 2-0 Charlton win. I can't see Shrewsbury winning this because, to be frankly honest, Charlton are looking very good. Charlton look good. Charlton do look good. So, that's what I've gone for. Kenny saying 4-0 to Charlton. Chris agreeing with me with a 2-0. But yeah, I just don't see Shrewsbury winning this. If they do, I'll be shocked. Johnny Jackson, as we got Charlton playing well, I'm not sure if he's been given the permanent job. I know their players want him to have the permanent job, so we'll certainly wait and see with that. Yeah, it's one of them that if he does, it will be it'll be good because I think he's done a very good job with Charlton. Oh yeah, by the way, Morecambe. So we'll draw to all good teams and lose to all the shit ones. Yeah, that's just Morecambe. But moving on, we haven't covered Morecambe in quite a while. But let's do League Two. And our first game is Forest Green Rovers versus Bristol Rovers. It's the Rovers derby. It's about 30 minutes away from Bristol Rovers. And I've gone for Forest Green 2, Bristol Rovers 1. Yeah, I don't see Bristol Rovers winning this. I do see Forest Green just being too good for Bristol Rovers and Joey Barton. And I do think ultimately this will be Forest Green Rovers' year to go to League One, providing they don't massively bottle it, which this is more. This is Forest Green Rovers. So again, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I have got 2-1 for Forest Green Rovers. I think they're just too good at the moment, and I think they'll dismantle Bristol Rovers. I do think that, but I think it'll be a bit tight because it's a bit of a rivalry in terms of distance at least. The next game is Carlisle versus Walsall. And my apologies, Chris, but I'm not predicting a win for Carlisle. I'm predicting a win for Walsall. I think Walsall will take this. I think they're mid-table in League Two. I think Carlisle are really, really suffering, but it is at home, so I have offered Chris some hope there that maybe, just maybe, Carlisle might just grab something here. But yeah, I'm going 2-1 Walsall. In fact, Walsall is the place where we got Dan Scar from, so not bad. How's that hashtag United lad from Northampton doing, by the way? What hashtag United lad from Northampton? No idea who you're talking about. And Kenny says 1-0 Carlisle. Yeah, I hope Carlisle catering is open. Yeah, me and you both, mate. Me and you both, because judging from your performances this season, you'll probably want to spend most of the time in the catering than watching the game. But I do get that. Next up, Port Vale. As I said, Dal Clark having a bit of a mare at the moment since winning Manager of the Month. He's got to face Hartlepool at home. I've put them down to just win this 2-1. Just scrape through this 2-1 win for Port Vale is what I'm going for. Hartlepool will be a tough challenge though, and we'll certainly see Port Vale have to work for this one. How long does the Manager of the Month curse last? That's the question. How long does it last? Can they get past it? We'll certainly see. And then, but yeah, 2 more games actually. 2 more. We've got Rochdale versus Exeter. I've actually gone for a 2-0 Rochdale win here versus Exeter City. I know Exeter have only lost twice, but to be frankly honest, that performance against Colchester was absolutely fucking abysmal. I'm hoping for more of the same against Rochdale, to be honest, because it is nice watching Exeter suffer. But I actually think Rochdale could do something. It's at home, isn't it? So lots of travelling for Exeter this week. So lots of travelling, and ultimately I think that should help. Although I think it's also a rugby pitch, so maybe Rochdale Rugby play there or whatever it's called. Kenny's saying 2-0 to Rochdale, and Chris says 2-1. So Kenny agreeing with me. But everyone predicting Rochdale to win that game. And then the last game of the weekend is Scunthorpe versus Bradford. Derek Adams in complete disarray at the moment. He's still got to go down to St James's Park for a replay, which I think is actually next Tuesday. So he's still got to do that. He's not having the greatest time in the league, and Bradford were meant to be near the top of the league, all of which have not come true. And Derek Adams is under a lot of pressure. He needs to get some wins, and he needs to get them now. And he'll be demanding that. But Kenny says I meant Scott Pillock on the hashtag United Lad. I have no idea, not a clue. I don't really follow League Two that much. I can give you a brief understanding of it, but going in depth, not a chance. Chris says 2-1 Bradford, and Kenny says 2-1 to Scunthorpe. I'm agreeing with Chris. It's 2-1 Bradford. I have gone for. But that's that. I know it's been a little bit of a quicker show, mainly because it's just me, all by myself, and there's not an awful lot I can talk about. Yeah, apologies, it's a bit quicker. Hopefully Aaron will be back with us on Monday. If he's not, I'll beat him up. Yeah, I'll beat him up. So all is good in the world there. I will just, I'll beat him up, and that's how we'll do it. But yeah, before you go, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Make sure you're subscribed to First XI YouTube account. Follow them all. Follow them on socials as well. All of our socials, including Charlie and Aaron's, are in the description if you so wish to follow them. You can find me on YouTube at Let's Talk Premier League. I will be there at 8 p.m. for the Liverpool show with Velv and Tyler, possibly Rack. So yeah, make sure you tune into that. But until next time, thanks for watching, and yeah, it's been a decent one. Hopefully Argyle get a win, but peace out, guys.